Tehran is one of the most talked about cities in the world, yet also one of the most misunderstood. When people hear the name, they often think of politics, tension, and headlines. But that's only a small part of the story, because behind all of that there's a city full of life, ambition, and contradictions that most people never get to see. And once you understand what Tehran is really like, your perspective might completely change. Tehran doesn't fit into a simple category. It's modern, but not fully westernized, traditional, but constantly evolving, fast-paced, yet deeply rooted in history. You'll find massive highways packed with traffic, glass buildings reaching into the skyline, and a city that never really slows down. But just a few streets away, there are centuries-old bazaars, historic mosques, and cultural traditions that have survived for generations. This contrast isn't accidental, it's what defines Tehran. But the city didn't always look like this. A few hundred years ago, Tehran was nothing special. It was a small town, overshadowed by more powerful cities in Persia. There was no sign it would become the center of a nation. Then in the 18th century, everything changed. The Qajar dynasty chose Tehran as the capital, and from that moment, the city began to transform, slowly at first, then faster than anyone expected. Population grew, infrastructure expanded, power started concentrating in one place. And over time, Tehran didn't just grow, it became the heart of Iran. Today, Tehran is where the country's biggest decisions are made. This is where political power is concentrated, where leadership operates, where the direction of the nation is shaped behind closed doors. But it's not just politics. Tehran is also the economic engine of Iran. Major banks, corporations, and industries are based here. If something important is happening in the country, there's a high chance it starts in this city. That's why Tehran feels different. There's a certain weight to it, a sense that everything happening here matters. But power alone doesn't define daily life. Walk through Tehran and you'll notice something unusual almost immediately. A traditional market sitting right next to a modern shopping mall. A historic mosque just steps away from a stylish cafe filled with young people. It's a city living in two timelines at once. And the people reflect that. Younger generations are highly educated, connected to global trends, and constantly pushing forward. At the same time, they are navigating expectations shaped by tradition and culture. This creates a balance that isn't always easy, but it's real. And the deeper you look, the more complex it becomes. Now imagine living in a city with over 9 million people. Tehran is crowded, it's loud, and moves fast. Traffic is a daily challenge. Streets are always busy, and there's a constant sense of movement, like everyone is chasing something. Opportunities exist here, but they don't come easy. The cost of living continues to rise. Competition is intense, and like any major global city, there's pressure to keep up. But people don't stop. Because in Tehran, ambition runs deep. And in the middle of all the chaos, there's something unexpected. Tehran sits at the base of the Alborz Mountains, which means the city has something most people don't associate with it: cold weather and even snow during winter. Yes, snow. It creates a surreal contrast. One moment you're stuck in heavy traffic, surrounded by urban noise, and the next, you look up and see snow-covered mountains in the distance. During the summer, the climate is often more bearable compared to other parts of Iran. This combination of geography and city life gives Tehran a unique identity, something that sets it apart from many other megacities. But to really understand the city, you have to experience its culture. Food is a big part of that. Tehran offers everything from simple street food to rich, traditional dishes. Kebabs, saffron rice, fesenjan, and gourmet sabzi are not just meals, they're part of the country's identity. In local bazaars, the street food scene feels raw and authentic. It's where everyday life happens. But beyond food, Tehran is also a center of education and innovation. Some of Iran's top universities and research centers are located here. Young people from across the country come to Tehran to study, build careers, and create opportunities. It's a city that's constantly moving forward even while holding on to its past. And yet, despite all of this, Tehran still faces one major challenge: its global image. For many people outside the country, Tehran is defined by headlines and assumptions, but those only show one side of the story. Because behind that image is something much more human. People working, studying, building their lives, friends meeting in cafes, families walking through markets, young people dreaming about the future. It's not a one-dimensional city. In fact, the biggest surprise about Tehran is how different it feels compared to what most people expect. So what is Tehran, really? It's not just a capital. It's not just politics. It's a city of contrast, of pressure and opportunity, of tradition and change happening at the same time. And maybe the most interesting part, you can't fully understand Tehran from the outside. You have to look deeper.